Hey gorgeous, welcome to Eringy. I'm Erin. Welcome to your full moon energy forecast for May 2023. So grab yourself pen and paper. Being that this is a full moon, this is such a beautiful, beautiful time to bring things to completion and also surrender what no longer serves you. So with that in mind, let's get started. Alrighty, I'm gonna get comfortable. Okay, so this full moon will occur on the 6th of May, and during that time there will be an eclipse called the Penumbral Eclipse. So it's sort of like a mini eclipse. I'm not exactly, I don't follow astrology, so I'm sure that there's going to be loads of information about that elsewhere on the internet. What I do understand about eclipses is that they're a time of drastic change or drastic adaptations that you need to do to your own life. Eclipses are also a time of really stirring up things that we may have been hiding deep inside, and they only come up because we are ready to let them go. And it's a period of time where we are essentially embracing a new kind of normal for ourselves in positive ways. All right, so that's exciting. So keep that in mind as we go about the full moon energy reading for this time round. Last new moon, we were focusing on solitude, which was funny because last month, the theme of last month was also about solitude. Now, if you haven't caught up on the monthly energy forecast for this month of May, definitely go do that. But also know that the theme for this month is accelerated motion. And that means that you are actually moving forward at such a drastic rate in alignment with where you want to be, though. So it's not like you're being pushed in at a speed that's uncomfortable and that you're not ready for. It's actually the total opposite. You are ready for this. You're done waiting. You just want to get there, but enjoy the journey at the same time. So with that in mind, accelerated motion being that that's the theme of the month, and the fact that you have been working on finding solitude and stillness since your new moon, what is the theme of this full moon? So what have you created? Let's take a look. Since the new moon, truth, which also came up for this month. So that's great. So the truth card. This is what has come as a result of you just taking a step back, as a result of you finding that stillness. And this is amazing because now what I'm sensing within you is that it's really cool. It's like you have just said, F it, as in, I won't swear on here, but you know where I'm headed with that. You're just like, F it. I'm done. I'm sick of being tied down to these negative emotions. I'm sick of surrounding myself around people who aren't going to champion me, who aren't going to support me, who aren't going to lift me up. I'm done. And you've removed yourself from that, and you have found this place of acceptance, and you're realizing that what is so powerful in terms of healing is actually just taking time for yourself, which is all about finding balance. You are on this path. I feel like you're on this path to find the truth of why you're here. So it's not about doing the mundane things that you do throughout each day, which is what we all do because, we are human and that's part of our life. But it feels like you are here for a deeper purpose than that. And that's what you're seeking at this time. What is that purpose? What is that mission? Because you feel done with what you've already experienced. You're sort of over that now. Okay, this is a new chapter. The full moon's energy is all about closure as well. It's celebrating how far you've come. Okay, so since the new moon was about you finding the stillness, the solitude, really reconnecting with yourself, you have managed to find balance and you have managed to tap into the truth of who you are, your full-blown mission. So big high five. I think that that is awesome. Well done you for being able to do that, for you actually honoring that and realizing the importance of doing that. So the full moon is very much really lighting that up for you, illuminating your path. It's much easier for you to know where you're going because it just feels good. Okay, so that's where you've that's what you've created since the new moon. So where are you currently? You're using your intuition. Yay! Yay, that's fantastic. This is so good. Do you realize how good this is though? I mean, do you really fully, like, have you just been able just to sort of just take a step back for a second and just reflect on how far you've come so far? And perhaps just remember, what was your go-to method of knowing that you were on the right path? Was it that you checked in with the brain? Was it that you asked questions for other people? Compare that to now. Are you a lot more in tune with yourself? Are you a lot more trusting of those messages that you're receiving within yourself from your higher self? That's you using your intuition. That's you connecting with your inner knowing. And that is amazing. This is fantastic. I've got this big smile on my face because I know just how much your life is going to shift, how much it's going to improve simply by listening and seeing the truth for yourself, not relying on the outside world to do it for you. And this is incredible. So yeah, this is feeling very complete. This full moon's energy is very, very complete for you. So congratulations on getting to this point of really, of this being your new normal, of intuition being your new go-to for the deeper questions that you have about your life. Bloody brilliant. Okay, so what's coming into your awareness? Because you've opened up your intuition, what's coming in is love. More love-filled experiences, a really deeper sense of balance. That's what's coming in. Sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it? But this is the full moon. This is what's coming in. So open your heart to this. Open your heart to receive that love that is always there for you. By you appreciating this, because this is the thing with this particular month of May, is starting to appreciate all the abundance and prosperity that is already in your life, as opposed to focusing on lack. And so by you doing that, that allows you to open the doors to receive. And one of the things that you will receive is love. Now, this can show up in love for yourself, an appreciation for you just being a genuinely awesome spirit, a fantastic soul, just a very gentle person. It could be that. It could be you opening up the doors to having a loving relationship with someone else, or forming closer relationships, like closer bonds, loving the company that you keep. It could also be loving your job, your career, your hobbies. There is so much in this card that, and so many different versions of the way in which you can receive love. So they're asking you to just reflect for a second, just take a breath, and just see your life in front of you. Categorize your life in front of you. And ask your higher self, show me the part of my life that is lacking in love. Show me that. And then whatever that is, use this energy of the full moon to basically transfer her illumination onto that part of your life and say, hey, I'm open, I'm ready to receive love in that way. Okay, I'm done resisting this feeling, these good vibes. I'm done resisting that. I'm ready to open myself up to more love. So, woo! So, being that is what's coming in, this is what the full moon's energy is bringing into your life, what are you ready to surrender to? Because the full moon is also about letting go. And timing is always the thing, like it's always perfect timing. Okay, so we've got the transformation card. What are you letting go? This card, if you've been following these videos quite a lot, you'll know that this card has just been showing up very regularly. You're letting go of the residualness, because you've been doing so much work on yourself through this this transformative period, right? There's like little bits and pieces still there that kind of irk you a little bit. They're not getting in the way of you moving forward, but at the same time, they still grab your attention every so often. So for this one, it's sort of like for you to kind of really accelerate, because remember, that's the month, that's the theme for this month, is accelerated motion. So for you to be moving forward at the rate that kind of the speedy rate, right? Those little niggles are going to get in the way. And so what are those things? What are those things that are just holding you back a little bit, that kind of just don't let you transform completely into who you want to be? Completely. Sometimes it can be a case of just being fearful about admitting who you are or what you want to do to other people, through fear of rejection, through fear of conflict. If you're anything like me, I hate conflict. So if there's ever a time, so doing this, for instance, I'll just give you an example. Doing readings such as this, right? If I don't know someone and I've just sort of met them and they ask me, hey, what do you do for a living? There's still a part of me that assesses, is it okay to tell them that I do guidance readings? I know, and it's crazy. It's so silly. There's still this fear in me that I don't want the conflict. I don't want, I just don't want negative opinions about it, because that will instantly kind of create just a really not a nice feeling within me, and I want to avoid that. Doing that, though, means that I'm not completely true to who I am. So I'm completely proud of doing this. I love doing these readings. I should be able to sort of stand up on the top of a mountain and yell it out, and yet there's still a part of me that kind of hides away a little bit. All right. So I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that we all are in this together. We all feel this, and it's not something that prevents me from doing my work, which is why I was telling you about like the little micro things that kind of, they're there, but it's okay. But at the same time, it means that I'm not fully embracing it either, and fully prepared to sort of say, hey, I do energy readings. I tune into my intuition and higher self and pass these messages on. Obviously, that is something, and I know full well, for me to work on. So what is it for you? Is there something within you that is pulling you back just a little bit? It's not going to impact you incredibly. It's not going to stop you transforming into the best version of who you want to be. However, it will slow the process down. You'll get there eventually, but it will hinder you having that accelerated motion. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one with you. If that's the thing that is no longer serving you, how can you let that go? So what's available to you? Suffering in silence is the card that I've drawn. Suffering in silence. However, as you know, it's not always the words that count. So I'm just going to sit with this for a second. I feel that the very thing that will help you to release these little niggles is, again, coming back to self. Finding the solitude. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but they are such internal things, and you are very, very good at masking them. So no one on the outside world, unless they know you incredibly deeply, they very likely wouldn't pick up that you've got this discomfort around a certain trajectory, this certain dream that you have. And so really the resource that's available to you to be able to let this go is yourself, is the stillness. You also, I feel like you need to be reminded too that even though you are just taking a step back for a moment and just being with yourself, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to suffer in silence either. It doesn't mean that you have to do this alone. Taking part in this full moon reading, connecting with the energy of that femininity of the full moon, and also connecting with your higher self, your spiritual support team. I mean, we're talking about a lot of supportive energy here. So it may feel physically alone, but just know that you are being so fully supported on this path, and those little niggles needn't stay there to keep you safe. If you let them go, it's not a sign that terrible things will happen. Letting those things go is a sign of you transforming. Having faith in something bigger than yourself can really, really help form that trust. So if you can't form that trust for yourself, maybe you could try to build that relationship with a power that is bigger than you, like the full moon, and just sort of say, you know what? I'm ready to let those little bits, those little tiny bits that just kind of circulate around me that aren't always in my kind of, my line or my sight, but I can feel them in my peripheral vision. Okay, I know that they're there and I just don't want them there anymore. I'm ready to let that go. Okay, so use this full moon to do that. Alrighty, so as a summary of this entire, summary of this entire full moon energy reading for May is really stepping into your wisdom. So this was the card that actually came up for you for May as the monthly energy reading. So don't you find this so funny that there are, I believe there's about 78 cards in this particular deck, 78 cards. And yet of all the cards that, gets drawn, it's this one, the exact same one that showed up for May. Honestly, gorgeous. This is really such an internal period for you. It really, really is. We're very much moving away from anything material of late, aren't we? Like none of these readings are showing up in a material fashion. There's so much of this that is more emotionally based and very spiritual. So use this full moon's time to just check in with your intuition, which you have been doing because it's in the cards. You have been doing that. Be open to learning more. Be open to realizing that this is a journey. And technically speaking, there really is never a destination. There is always just the journey. So you just got to take it step by step and tune into that inner knowing. Be open to higher self wisdom. Be open to support from your spiritual support team. Right. Let me just sort of see if there's anything else before we bring closure to the full moon. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that the wisest soul on this planet, the wisest soul on this planet is you. Just let that sink in for a little bit. The wisest soul on this planet is you. They're saying that that's not an ego thing. So it's not basically sort of saying, oh, well, then that makes me the wisest person and everyone bow down, bow down. No, it's not that. What they are saying is that you are the one. You have this mission. This journey that your soul is craving for. And only you know what that is. Deep down. So when you're seeking spiritual truths, yes, it's great to have this kind of practice. It's really great for me to share these messages with you if you just feel like it's just nice to have it done for you, right? But what I really want to stress to you is that despite me passing on these messages to you, at the end of the day, you are your wisest teacher. The higher self version of you, because you know where you want to go and you know where you've been. You know what you've been through. And so you know who you really are on a very, very deep level. And no one else, not even me, I can't tell you exactly what that is. So that's potent. That's a powerful thing to realize. And I feel that you're going to feel a little like, oh gosh, that's a lot of responsibility for me to know everything. And how do I tune into that? That's okay, gorgeous. It'll come to you. It will. The less you try to force that kind of information, the easier it will be. The full moon is that way of illuminating that part of yourself. If you're feeling a little discouraged that you can't tune into your intuition completely, it's fine. That's actually very, very normal. But just ask the full moon, hey, use your feminine energy just to light that part of myself up. Help me just reconnect with that. And I say reconnect because it's not like you've ever completely disconnected from it. You are intuitive. You are, everybody is. But it's just, re-establishing that connection or basically solidifying it or strengthening, that connection. Okay, gorgeous. So happy full moon of May. With this eclipse, it might feel a little more, some people sort of report that they feel a little more emotional at this time, or they just sort of feel like that, changes are drastic for them as opposed to subtle. And so really whatever it is, just ride the wave. And you've always got your spiritual support team there to guide and support you as well. So you are never alone and you're never suffering in silence. There's always help for you. So happy, beautiful full moon, and I'll catch you very, very soon. Sending you so much love. Bye.